Blue English by Pacifico Lobianco. Once there was a sheep named Ernie. He was a kind little sheep, but he had one problem. He was black. Ernie did not like being black. All the other sheep on the farm were white and treated him badly. Even his parents were white. Whenever Ernie went out to play all the other sheep, except his parents, went to another part of the farm and left him alone. One day, it was time to shear the sheep. Ernie had never been sheared before. He was nervous, but his parents said that it was fine and there was nothing to worry about. But Ernie was still worried. When it was time, Farmer Jones started to pick out sheep and get to work one at a time. Ernie hoped Farmer Jones would forget him, but he didn't. Ernie had never been so nervous in his life. Then he had a thought. Ernie had a wonderful thought. What if, when all his wool was gone, it would grow back white? Suddenly, Ernie was excited. He was so excited that when it was his turn, he was wiggling and squirming. "Calm down," said Farmer Jones. "You're going to get yourself hurt." "Hurt?" said Ernie. "Whoever said you could get hurt by being sheared?" He shrugged and kept on squirming with excitement. When the job was finally done, Ernie ran away from Farmer Jones and said, "At last, my wool will be white." But no, after about 3 weeks, Ernie started to see some wool. It was black. Ernie was so surprised and frustrated. He started to think his wool would never be white, and that he would always be left out. Ernie's parents tried to comfort him, but it didn't seem to work. The next day, Ernie heard Farmer Jones run to his wife and say, "I got some mail from a different farmer saying he's moving in about a block away." "And what does he say his name is?" asked Mrs. Jones. "Farmer Adams," Farmer Jones replied. "He says he's got loads of sheep just like us." "Oh, great," thought Ernie. "More white sheep to tease me and laugh at me." But Ernie did not know that Farmer Adams and his sheep moving in close would not be a bad thing. By the time that Farmer Adams and his sheep were fully moved in, Ernie's wool had been growing in for about 4 weeks, and you could see it from a distance. "I'm going to go say hi to our new neighbor," Ernie heard Farmer Jones say one day. Then he heard the sound of a door open and then close. But then he heard the sound of a gate open and close. The gate sound was louder, and it seemed like it was closer. Ernie looked at the door of Farmer Jones's gate because he knew that it was the only gate in earshot. There was a brand new sheep standing near the door of Farmer Jones's gate. The new sheep looked like he was in paradise. Ernie did not know why. What was so great about a place full of sheep that teased you and laughed at you? Ernie knew that it wouldn't be so bad for the new sheep than Ernie, because the new sheep was white. Ernie was in a stage of amazement because the new sheep had gotten into the Joneses' gate and apparently out of his gate. Ernie assumed that the new sheep was from Farmer Adams' gate. Ernie slowly approached the new white sheep. Then he spoke up. "Hi," he said, "I'm Ernie." As soon as the new sheep saw Ernie, the smile on his face faded away from his face, like a leaf falling and then drifting away from its tree. "Oh," said Ernie, "I'm Willie." "Are you the only black sheep on this farm?" asked Willie. "Yes," replied Ernie sadly. "What about your parents?" said Willie. "White," said Ernie. "Oh," said Willie in an "I feel sad for you" voice. "Well, I'm the only," but Willie never finished his sentence because Ernie interrupted. "How did you get out of your gate and into mine?" "Oh, well, it's simple." And Willie explained how to open the locks of the gates. "Wow," gasped Ernie for the 20th time. "Where did you learn it?" "I just taught myself," replied Willie. "That is so cool," said Ernie. Before you asked me how to open the gates, I was going to say that I'm the only white sheep on my farm." Right when Willie said, "white sheep on my farm," Ernie jumped up and said, "Really? I mean, I've been so sad and lonely here, and now you're telling me that all the sheep on your farm except you are black?" "Yes," said Willie. "Wow, we could trade farms," said Ernie. He was so excited. Said Willie. What? Shouted Ernie impatiently. No, said Willie plainly. Why? Shrieked Ernie. Willie said calmly and peacefully. Once a sheep living on Adam's farm, always a sheep living on Adam's farm. Oh, come on, we could trade farms and our farmers wouldn't even notice, shouted Ernie so loud that now all the sheep on the farm were looking at both Ernie and Willie. I wouldn't stop you from doing this if it wasn't the right thing to do, said Willie, also getting a little loud. Well, sputtered Ernie. He was about to yell at Willie again, but then realized he was doing something wrong. He tried to calm down and managed to only let out a sigh. I'm sorry I yelled at you, said Ernie. I just haven't had any friends, and I thought this was my chance, but I guess not. Ernie started to walk away. Wait, said Willie, for some reason getting excited. Since I don't have any friends and you don't have any friends, and we both like each other's company, we could be friends. Right when Willie said we could be friends, Ernie jumped up and said, yay, yay, yay. Ernie was so excited. Wow, cool. I actually have a friend now. Ernie and Willie. I like the sound of that. The end.